very much for joining us today. And without further ado, I pass it on to the MCC Chairman, Brother Mohammed Shrani.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلق محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن اتبعه إلى يوم الدين آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters in Islam. My name is Mohammed Shrani, and I'm the elected director for the Calgary Islamic Center, Southwest Calgary. And humbly, I am also the elected chairman for the current MCC term. I want to start off by thanking you for the honor you've given me in addressing you tonight, and to welcome everyone to our first town hall meeting, where you'll get to meet your current MCC board and get updated on what each committee is working on, and to be able to ask them questions. However, before we go there, I want to stress how blessed I am to be working with such a vibrant team of directors. And I also want to thank all our presidents of all the centers and their teams of volunteers and our staff who are there for all our day-to-day operations at our many centers. I want to thank our imams, who are the front line of all the caretaking of this ummah. We are a diverse group from many walks of life, from a variety of backgrounds, languages, cultures, and heritages. But we are all reminded that we are on this earth for one single purpose: to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And along with that, we want to please Allah with the amana that you have entrusted in us. We take it seriously. And this board will continue to honor the spirit of unity and community with the many initiatives that this board will share with you tonight. Tonight, I want to put the challenge out to you. We are many committees, and as you know, we all have different jobs to fulfill our day-to-day activities. However, we want you to bring your skills. We want you to come and join some of these committees and help us elevate this community. Let's build this community to be an example of good for the world to see, inshallah. And as every one of our directors introduces themselves and speaks about their committees and the things they're working on, please make notes, and please make critically positive notes so that we can, inshallah, build upon those. We will try to hear everyone's concerns. We will try to answer all the questions. Please be patient with us. Alhamdulillah, once again this year, we will be able to hear the adhan during Maghrib and Taraweeh at each of our centers. We'll be able to join in Taraweeh. We'll be able to smile at each other, inshallah. And we can spread the spirit of Islam throughout this city to Muslims and non-Muslims. Whether we are being good to our neighbors, or whether we are volunteering at the cemetery or on some of our projects, let not your reward with Allah be wasted. And as we embark
Brother Muhammad has accidentally muted himself.
No, I never. Sorry. And honor the tenets of our faith: Salah, Siyam, Zakah, and Ibadah. I want to challenge everyone this Ramadan to give all from your heart that you can. And with that, I want to say Assalamu alaikum just for a temporary little time. And I will come back to you, inshallah, shortly. I would like to turn it over to our great, hardworking MCC directors who have put countless hours. I can't even thank them enough, no matter what. And he who does not thank his fellow brother does not thank Rabbna subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I want to thank all of our great MCC directors from now and turn it over to them, and they can tell you what they've all been working hard on, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother Mohammed Shrani. Brother Khalil Karbani.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Khalil Karbani, and I'm one of the directors of the MCC, representing Al Hidayah Islamic Center from Northeast Calgary. Right now on my portfolio is Ramadan, and I have recently also moved on to the funeral services. We have had a great start to the coming Ramadan preparation. And being one of the favorite times for a lot of the people, including myself, I hope it becomes an enjoyable one and full of barakah and wisdom to everyone, inshallah. We started off by introducing and bringing together the ulama of the city of Calgary, not just from the MCC, but the broader spectrum as well. We also invited ulama from Red Deer as well as Edmonton to establish a salah timetable, in particular, the Subh Sadiq time, which is the beginning time of our fast. After a few meetings together, Sheikh Jamal, he established that this is the time that we will be following, and thereafter we produced the calendar, which has gone throughout the whole city, and I hope that inshallah everyone will start to use it. This particular Ramadan, we have made a point that the MCC, the Board of Directors, will come to each and every one of the centers for a couple of reasons here. First of all, we want to acknowledge the Hufaz that pray the 20 rakats of Tarawih prayers. They pray the full Quran. Whether you stay for the 12 or the 8, it doesn't matter, but the Hufaz have to be recognized. Most of them, as you know, are very young, in their late teens or early 20s. And I think they are our future for this particular community. So we want to acknowledge them, but not only acknowledging them, we want to acknowledge the representatives, the board of that particular center. We've already started producing certificates to acknowledge their hard work. And inshallah, we want to try and give them a small gift as well, because volunteering is one of them things that's actually a thankless job. But we actually, as Muhammad mentioned earlier, we want to thank them for the hard work that they do. And had it not been for the centers, keep in mind, there wouldn't be MCC. So again, I want to thank all the centers out there, especially the people who are running these particular centers. We want to prepare some spiritual nights with the help of the ulama of the city, where we can inshallah practice some more ibadah, do some extra nafil salah, pray extra Quran, do whatever it does to increase our level of iman. And talking of iman, keep in mind, my brothers and sisters, that when you give something in the month of Ramadan, the reward is multiplied by 70 up to 700 times. And some hadith even says infinite number of times. So I just want to remind each and every one, what I was reminded by our ulama in the UK is that prepare yourself before Ramadan to give in the month of Ramadan. And what he means is by giving sadaqah jariyah, by giving donations, doing whatever you have to do. And if you have to give it in Ramadan, keep in mind that reward will be greater and greater, inshallah. Depending on the COVID rules, it will determine where we will have the Eid functions. So again, our usual Eid function a few years ago was at the Stampede grounds. If at all possible, we want to try and prepare our Eid for the Stampede ground. We normally invite a few guests, including the Chief of Police, some local MLAs, MPs, council members, as well as the mayor. So inshallah, we are trying to do that. Now, my brothers and sisters out there, I really, really do need help from each and every one of you. What I mean by that is volunteer yourself some time, give yourself some time to come and volunteer with us. What we want to do here, in particular, this particular Ramadan, is we want to prepare some centers to do iftar, not only for the people who are fasting, but we want to invite non-Muslims to fast for that particular day. Come to our centers and break their fast with us. This takes time, effort, and energy, and we need help from each one of you. Not only are we trying to do this at our centers, we want to go and give food at the hospitals, whether it's a pizza or whatever, it's irrelevant. We want to go and help them. They're our first line of defense, and I think they need to be acknowledged from the Muslim community. We want to go to the police stations and do that. And inshallah, with doing all of that, we want to try and encourage some of the media to come and do some television reports and things like that to actually promote Islam and what Muslims do throughout the month of Ramadan. So if you feel that you can really help with this particular committee, please approach any one of us, come to our centers, make a phone call to the MCC office and say, I want to be in the Ramadan committee, or whichever committee it may be. Keep in mind, my brothers, there's only 11 of us. We can't do everything, and we do need your help. So I'll stop there for now. If anyone has any questions, please send them in and Abid will refer them back to me. I thank you so much for voting us in and inshallah trusting us to do this great work. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you, brother. So as Brother Khalil said, and as I said in the beginning, if you have any questions, please share it in the comment section. We will address the questions after all the MCC directors have spoken. Next, we have Brother Wissam Al-Aal.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brothers and sisters. My name is Wissam Aal. I am one of your representative MCC directors representing the Southwest community of Calgary. First, I would like to thank you for joining us and for the trust you put in us when you did elect us for the board of directors of your Muslim Council of Calgary. I have been asked to lead the committee for new growth or new project growth in Calgary. My responsibility essentially is to facilitate new projects for our community, work with the individual centers and their boards to make sure that all projects that we have going on, whether it's a school, masjid, or any other project that we have, cemetery project, is coming in on budget according to our bylaws, is conducted efficiently, and we're getting the best people on that job. This is a list of the projects that we have going on right now. First one being in the cemetery. It's a shop and shelter. It's a prefab building that we are trying to erect there that houses all of our equipment, our headstones. It would have a bathroom, a office for our caretaker. It's very much needed. There's lots of other things going on in the cemetery that Brother Samir Omar will update you on as well. At the Southwest Masjid, the expansion funeral room is well on its way, and it is actually in its final stages. The brothers there are doing an amazing job. I do have to recognize the board there, all the brothers and sisters that have donated their precious time, money, and expertise to make this project happen. Especially, I want to actually recognize the two brothers that are leading this project, Brother Malik Isper and Brother Ibrahim Ayyash. Jazakumullahu khair. There's two other projects, big projects actually, that we're trying to get off the ground. One, it's two multi-phase projects. The land has already been acquired. First one will be Al Hidayah in the community of Saddle Ridge in Calgary. Phase one is a masjid and two fitness centers, one for sisters and one for brothers. Phase two, a school and a big gymnasium that could also serve as an expansion of the masjid. Phase three would be a Muslim senior complex with a bridge that would lead to the masjid as well, inshallah. In the southeast area, there's also a multi-phase project off of 104th Street in the southeast. Phase one of that project is a gymnasium community center that would also double as a masjid, with two more phases, inshallah, for that project. We are working closely with the ICSC board to move that project forward, inshallah. Both these projects require a lot of work, money, and expertise. We are committed to providing the best value for your hard-earned donated money as we actively, diligently, and strategically seek opportunities to grow our educational facilities and worship centers and establish new ones in every quadrant of the city. Your new board of directors contains a great group of people, along with great volunteers, but that is not enough for what we envision for the growth of our community. We need your help. Our community is full of talented, educated, intelligent people, mashallah. We need your talents for the betterment of our community. Please get involved. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve Allah and our great community, and for the trust you put in us. We at the MCC are focused on the ultimate goal, a united, prosperous, strong, and successful community. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Brother Samir Omar.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Samir Omar. I am part of the current MCC board. I currently serve as the chairman of the cemetery committee and also a lead on the education committee. One of the reasons I got involved in this committee was I believe there was gaps needed to be filled from our youth to our elderly. Unfortunately, COVID changed the way we do things. Inshallah, once it settled down and things become normal, I'd like to see some things change in our centers. One that I'm really passionate about is I would like to see a dedicated imam for the elderly, to engage them within our centers, to have programs set for the elderly, even have transportation set for them to bring them to the masjid, and also have the ability for them to visit one another, even visit the sick in our community. I would like to thank Umar al-Hajjad and the AJ board for the countless hours they've been at the masjid, always trying to bring always bringing new ways to enhance our centers and our operation. Sister Neda, the vice president of the AJ board, truly carries the Akram Jummah Center on her shoulders. She's responsible for programs, social media, community engagement. She's brought new life to our center. Alhamdulillah, we've made advances in respect to enhancing the aesthetics of our cemetery. We've had a couple of open houses analyzing the feedback for the landscaping project up in the cemetery. The scope of work consists of 170 graves, which will be fully landscaped with precast forms. They will be easy to maintain, cost-effective, Sharia compliant, and sustainable. The reason we wait for the 2 years to landscape and place the headstones is that we are one of few cemeteries that shroud the body and don't use a vault system. I would like to give a special thanks to Bilal al-Rafaya for his leadership role on this project. He has been involved from day one. This is why we need to engage the talent within our community to help. Alhamdulillah, there's so many people in our community with different skill sets that can benefit the community. We need community engagement to bring out the talent. One of my goals for the cemetery is to have a park-like setting where families can come and spend the day. Another idea is to have a campground built on the far northeast boundaries, where built for Muslims and for Muslims to enjoy. Alhamdulillah, despite all the personal sacrifices that have been made, it's truly been a blessing to have the opportunity to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Calgary Muslim community for the course of my term. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Jazakallah khair. Next, we have Brother Muhammad Idris from Brooks.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us here today in our first MCC board virtual town hall meeting. Your engagement with us is very essential and your input is very valuable. My name is Muhammad Idris and I'm the representative of the Brooks district on the MCC board. I'm also a member of the legal committee as well as the MCC Relief Center team. I joined the board in the fall of 2020, and it has been a learning opportunity for me, but also a productive time as we have been busy on a number of different fronts addressing the needs of the community. One of our goals in the legal committee in the board was to attempt to end as many legal matters as possible that MCC is involved in. In this regard, we are happy to report we have recently actually concluded a legal matter involving the Brooks Masjid, the Brooks Center. This matter has been on the books for several years. Through negotiation in good faith, in weighing the cost versus the benefit, we were able to settle this case out of the court, ending yet one more legal matter for MCC. My engagement with the MCCRC, the Relief Center, has also been very meaningful, and it meant a lot to me. Through this resource, we are able to assist many community members in need. It's a valuable resource that we need to improve on and make available for all in need. The vision of the MCCRC is to become more of a hand up rather than a handout. We need to develop and implement a holistic approach to address the needs of our community member. This means providing not only financial support, but also social, mental, career, youth, education, and other kinds of support. This is not easy and also not cheap. And this is why we also need to think of sustainability and how can we preserve this service and grow it for years to come. In this regard, the idea of an Islamic waqf, for example, comes to my mind. And it is something that we can discuss and we can look at and see if it meets with the vision that we have for our community. This is to learn from the rich heritage of the welfare system in Islam. Brothers and sisters, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, all of you are shepherds, and each of you is responsible for his flock. Bestow on us.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is and superb group of caring volunteers